I like to start off discussing Greg Popovich. So when you think of Coach Pop, one of the greatest coaches of all time in the history of the NBA, future Hall of Famer, five-time NBA champion, three-time NBA Coach of the Year, four times he's been an NBA All-Star Game head coach, not to mention the coach of the Olympic team in the Olympics in 2020 in Tokyo. Amazing career coaching players such as Tim Duncan, also David Robinson, also coaching Avery Johnson, Vinny Del Negro, Sean Elliott, also coaching Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, those countless NBA titles, as I mentioned earlier. Well, back in November, Coach Pop had a health issue. He suffered a stroke and decided that he would be taking an indefinite break. So in comes assistant coach Mitch Johnson as the interim head coach. Well, during the week, it was announced that it was unlikely that Popovich would return to the sidelines for the remainder of this season. So Coach Pop, as I stated earlier, suffered a mild stroke back in November. And it's highly unlikely that it was revealed this week that he would not return to his coaching duties for the remainder of the year and that his coaching future was uncertain. Coach Pop, when Victor Wembanyama was drafted, he said that he would love to be around for at least 5 more years to coach the highly talented and highly touted and scouted Victor Wembanyama. And Coach Pop, he wants to make good on that promise for at least the first 5 years of Wemby's career, or at least that coach him for 5 years and to take advantage of this talent. When you think of San Antonio, you think about their centers like a David Robinson and a Tim Duncan, and Victor Wembanyama has the opportunity to follow in that great legacy. So Coach Pop will not return to coaching for this 2024-2025 season. Mitch Johnson will serve as the interim for the remainder of the year. And again, Coach Pop's future is uncertain. And let me just say on the this revelation was revealed in what was described, according to ESPN Shams Charania, as a very emotional meeting that he had with a lot of the players on the team. And it's been a tough year for San Antonio. Just when things were just starting to turn around, Victor Wembanyama out for the year with a discovered blood clot in his right shoulder. Now, Coach Greg Popovich confirmed with his team in a very emotional players only meeting that he would not return as the team's coach for the remainder of the year, and his coaching future is uncertain. So again, on behalf of everyone here at the program, our thoughts and prayers, and we wish Coach Popovich a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can make good on his promise that he would like to coach Victor Wembanyama for at least 5 years. Again, Victor's a once-in-a-lifetime talent. I just hope that Coach Pop and Wemby can get those 5 years together, and hopefully they can get San Antonio and try to get them back to the top of the top in the NBA, not just in terms of playoff appearances, but even Western Conference and Western Conference Finals and possibly NBA Finals appearances. Next up, I want to talk the Golden State Warriors. So since the trade deadline, Golden State has been on a roll, especially since they've acquired Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has worked wonders for the Dubs since he's arrived on the West Coast from Miami. And a guy by the name of Stephen Curry has just been sensational. Currently, as this show is airing, the Dubs are on a 4-game winning streak, and recently the Warriors had a big win over Orlando. Steph put up 56 points, and we talk about the day will come one day when LeBron and KD and Stephen Curry will retire, but Steph is not showing signs of slowing down anytime soon. A lot of people say could be the greatest shooter of all time, rightfully so, but since the All-Star break, man, since the trade deadline, Golden State has just been clicking on all cylinders. Steph Curry continues to play at a high level. Draymond Green is getting back into the swing of things since coming back from his injury. Also, Brandon Podziemski's played nicely. And then when you add Jimmy Butler, man, Jimmy Butler is just worked wonders. Since the trade deadline, since Butler has arrived in Golden State, they've only lost one game. And certainly, Golden State, they're catching up. They're moving up in the standings, and they have the opportunity, if everything works well, knock on wood, they have the opportunity to grab one of those top 6 playoff spots as opposed to getting in the play-in tournament. But man, the Warriors have been on fire as of late, and Stephen Curry has just played on a whole nother level. And my last storyline is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers. So we know the deal about the trade with AD going to Dallas, Luka going over to the Lakers, and for a while, Luka was struggling for a while, but Luka is starting to get into the groove of things, so to speak. Since Luka has arrived, they had to find a way to get things going, and they're finding it, and they're still trying to find it. But Luka is starting to slowly get back to old Luka. And I mentioned Steph Curry. You got to mention LeBron James, right? LeBron still playing at a high level. Austin Reeves, he's been playing at a high level. Rui Hachimura has played at a high level. Jackson Hayes, a lot of pressure on him since Anthony Davis being traded to Dallas, but he's held his own for the most part. And as this show is currently airing, the Lakers are in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. And LeBron and Luka, they're figuring it out. They're trying to find each other. And right now, they seem to be in a good place right now. And the Lakers, as this show is airing in the standings, they're in a really good place right now because the Lakers currently sit in 4th place with a chance to have a playoff spot. So LeBron and Luka still working out the kinks, but they're starting to get into the swing of things. And then the supporting cast is stepping up with Jackson Hayes, with Austin Reeves, with Rui Hachimura. So the Lakers are on a roll right now. And man, LeBron, I could make the argument currently the best player in the league right now. And then Steph Curry is not too far behind him. But man, the Lakers, the trade sent a lot of shockwaves. Luka still shook up behind it, but he's slowly starting to get back to the old Luka Doncic, being that sharpshooter, being that player that can score points at will. And certainly him and LeBron figuring it out, working out the kinks. And man, this is going to be scary going forward. All right, now it's time for the current league leaders in the association. Let's start off with points per game. The current leading scorer in the NBA remains Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's averaging over 32 points per game. Coming in at number 2 is Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Coming in 3rd from the Denver Nuggets is Nikola Jokic, followed by in 4th Anthony Edwards from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and in 5th from the Philadelphia 76ers, Tyrese Maxey. Next category is going to be rebounds per game. At number 1 from the Sacramento Kings, Domantas Sabonis. He's averaging over 14 rebounds per game. At number 2 from the New York Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns. Followed in 3rd, Nikola Jokic. In 4th from the Los Angeles Clippers, Ivica Zubac. And in 5th from the Utah Jazz, Walker Kessler. Next category, assists per game. At number 1, representing the Atlanta Hawks, Ice Trae Young. He's averaging over 11 assists per game. At number 2, Nikola Jokic. At number 3, from the Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham. In 4th, from the Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton. And in 5th, from the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James. Next category is going to be steals per game. At number 1 from the Atlanta Hawks, Dyson Daniels. He's averaging over 3 steals per game. At number 2, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. At number 3, Nikola Jokic. In 4th from the Los Angeles Clippers, Chris Dunn. And in 5th, Tyrese Maxey. Next category is blocks per game. At number 1 from the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama. At number 2 from the Utah Jazz, Walker Kessler. In 3rd from the Dallas Mavericks, Anthony Davis. In 4th, Brook Lopez from the Milwaukee Bucks. And in 5th, Daniel Gafford from the Dallas Mavericks. Next category is going to be field goal percentage. At number 1 from the Utah Jazz, Walker Kessler. He's shooting 72% from the field. At number 2, from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jared Allen. He's shooting 70% from the field. At number 3, Daniel Gafford. In fourth, Jalen Duren from the Detroit Pistons. And in fifth, from the Minnesota Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert. Next category, free throw percentage. At number 1, talked about him earlier, the ageless wonder, Stephen Curry from the Golden State Warriors. He's shooting 93% from the free throw line. At number 2, from the Milwaukee Bucks, Damian Lillard. At number 3, from the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving. At number 4, from the Los Angeles Clippers, Amir Coffey. And in fifth, from the Chicago Bulls, Kobe White. Next category is going to be three-point percentage. At number 1, from the Memphis Grizzlies, Luke Kennard. He's shooting 47% from three-point range. At number 2, from the Milwaukee Bucks, Taurean Prince. At number 3, from the Sacramento Kings, Keon Ellis. In fourth, Nikola Jokic. And in fifth, from the Cleveland Cavaliers, Ty Jerome. And the last category that we have is minutes per game. At number 1, from the New York Knicks, Mikal Bridges. He's averaging 38 minutes per game. At number 2, from the Philadelphia 76ers, Tyrese Maxey. At number 3, from the New York Knicks, Josh Hart. Coming in fourth, from the Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker. And in fifth, his teammate from the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant. And those are your current league leaders in the association. Let's move over now to current standings. Let's start off in the Eastern Conference. At number 1, the red hot Cleveland Cavaliers. They have a record of 48 wins and 10 losses. Coming in at number 2, the Boston Celtics with a record of 42 and 17. In third are the New York Knicks with a record of 38 and 20. In fourth, the Indiana Pacers. They have a record of 33 and 24. In fifth, the Milwaukee Bucks. They have a record of 33 and 25. And in sixth place are the red-hot Detroit Pistons. They have a record of 33 and 26. The Pistons have been red-hot with Jalen Duren, Cade Cunningham. And I got to tell you, J.B. Bickerstaff definitely deserves strong consideration for Coach of the Year honors. And then followed in seventh place, we have the Orlando Magic, followed in eighth by the Miami Heat. In ninth are the Atlanta Hawks, and in 10th place are the Chicago Bulls. And then the rest of the standings in the East are Brooklyn in 11th place, followed by Philadelphia in 12th place. The Toronto Raptors are 13th place, followed by Charlotte, and then dead last in the East are the Washington Wizards. Let's move over now to the Western Conference. In first place, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have a record of 47 and 11. Coming in second place are the Memphis Grizzlies with a record of 38 and 20. In third place are the Denver Nuggets with a record of 38 and 21. Followed in fourth are the red-hot Los Angeles Lakers with a record of 36 and 21. In fifth place, followed by the Houston Rockets. And in sixth place are the Los Angeles Clippers. And in the rest of the standings, we have in seventh place are the red-hot Golden State Warriors, followed in eighth by the Minnesota Timberwolves. In ninth are the Dallas Mavericks. And in 10th place are the Sacramento Kings. And in the rest of the standings, we have Phoenix in 11th place, followed by Portland, San Antonio, New Orleans, and then in last place in the West are the Utah Jazz. So those are your current standings in the association. And big ups, as I stated earlier, about the Detroit Pistons, man. J.B. Bickerstaff, what an amazing job he's done this year with a team that's very young and a promising, he's already a star, but a promising superstar with Cade Cunningham, also just a lot of that young talent that they have on that team. And as I stated earlier, J.B. Bickerstaff deserves strong consideration for Coach of the Year honors. Also, the Cleveland Cavaliers have just been hot as well. And kudos to Kenny Atkinson. Definitely, he deserves strong consideration for Coach of the Year honors. Also, Joe Mazzulla with the Boston Celtics. They're getting things together in Beantown, and certainly they're playing. I mean, they've been playing like the championship Celtics for the most part all season long, but things are really kicking into high gear as we're in the second half of the season. So the Lakers are hot. The Golden State has been hot lately as of well, especially with Golden State acquiring Jimmy Butler. So this should be interesting. As I stated earlier, the second half of the NBA season, this is when things really start revving up, because not only do teams try to fight for playoff spots, but also teams are trying to get a spot in the play-in tournament. So I tell you one thing, the NBA is getting red hot, and it's getting hot at the right time. That's going to do it again for another exciting edition of the program. Until next time, everybody, I'm Ed Robinson saying so long, and you take care. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Remember to click like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.